All right, guys. So today we're discussing the BMW M54 engine killer. And this is something you have to check. Pretty much every, especially E39, but other models also, when we get in here, we have to go check this part because it's always bad. There's always something with it going on. This will guarantee blow up your engine quick time. All right, so we got our E39 out here and we're shooting with the GoPro. So let's say you get one of these cars in and it's overheating, right? Let's say, give a scenario that you drive it, everything's good. You come to a stop, it overheats. Like no matter what you do, it just overheats. And you already replaced the thermostat, you already did the water pump, you did all the hoses, and it overheats, and then it blows coolant out the overflow. So you drive it, it'll start purging out the bottom of the radiator cap, out the overflow cap, and it won't do it until after you sit and idle for just a little bit. And one thing you gotta check if it's working or not is going to be the electric cooling fan. Now, on these engines, you notice how I had this set up. We need to fix this a little better, but there's no clutch fan, right? The clutch fan on an M54 does absolutely nothing. All that's gonna do is take out your water pump bearing, or it's gonna break and bang the bottom of your hood and put dents in your hood. That's all it's gonna do, I'm sorry. So it's a very complex system. The cooling fan system, you have the cooling fan that sits right here. You have, you probably can't see it out here with this light. There's a little plug-in that sits right down in here. You have to make sure, one thing, that plug-in's plugged in. You have to make sure, we've had problems with this before, and a lot of you guys are like, no, that's not it. Where the hell is it even out in this car? Gone? No, it's right there. Almost gone. This little guy here, for some reason, if that's not plugged in, that cooling fan will not run. It just will not run. It runs with the AC, but not with the temperature, right? Then you have the little sensor, which is right here on the little radiator hose. That is the one that controls the electric fan. You gotta check that, right? But the biggest mystery of this is, well, there's two mysteries. The first one is there's a big ass fuse. Better check for wasp nests before we go in here too far. There's a big ass fuse up under here. Let's see if I can get in there and see it. And where the glove box is at, right here, if you're reaching up behind it, where is it at? I can feel it. I don't know if I can show you guys or not. Right there. This one's been unclipped, but that is the fuse holder. I believe that one's the heater and the cooling fan. I don't remember which the other one was exactly. If one of those fuses is blown, the fan will not work. So here's where it gets weird. Here's where it gets real weird. The car will actually disable the fans if there's a problem. If either the fan's hard to turn or something else happens, it'll actually disable it. I'm trying to get here with the lights right. Then if that happens, so if you check all that stuff, it still doesn't work, you have to go to the battery, unhook the battery. I usually hold both the cables up in there, touch them together, hook it back up. You can leave it on a hook for a while, it'll do the same thing. And most of the time that'll bring the fan back online. If you checked all that, the fan still won't come online, then you have to look at the fan itself. Is the fan itself actually bad? We've had that several times. I keep one on the shelf. If you have a what was it here? Pre-2001 car, it's your 3 or 4 wire plug, and post-2001, it's the other one. I don't remember which is which anymore. I think post-2001 is a 4 wire plug. Pre-2001 is a 3 wire plug. So you have that. That can be very frustrating. That will take out an E39 engine, even M62 TU. That'll take out one of those engines quick time. What happens when you overheat one of these engines? Well, a lot of you guys know, but a lot of you guys don't know. That's what we're doing the video for. What'll happen, overheated one time, let's say You're on your way home. You got a mile to go to your house. You look over, it's in the red. What are you going to do? Well, what you should do and what you are going to do is two different things. What you should do is pull over immediately, turn off the car. Just get the ignition switch off as fast as you possibly can and kill the engine, right? At that point in time, if you don't have a way to haul the car, if you're only a mile or two away from your house, if you don't want to call a tow truck, the best thing you can do is sit there, let it cool off for a while. I've had to do this a couple times. I actually had a belt come off about 5 miles away from my house. So what I did, I was luckily at the top of a big hill. I turned it off on the bottom of the hill and I sat there. I started it up. The gauge was, is probably 20 minutes. The gauge was down. I started up, right on the gas. Floored it for, I don't know, 20 seconds, 15, 20 seconds. Put it in neutral, turned the key off, and rolled almost to my house. Did it again, let it cool off, did the same thing, got my driveway. That's one thing. If you overheat it, what's going to happen, it's going to pull the threads of the head bolts out of the block. So it's going to pull the aluminum threads out of the aluminum block. That is, I fixed them before. It seems like once you overheat one bad enough to do that, it does deteriorate the aluminum, and you never can get any kind of certs or any kind of time certs or anything, any kind of sleeves that ever hold correctly, right? So that's one problem. And at that point in time, you do need a new engine. There is no fixing it. The engine on these cars are not that expensive. You can buy it off eBay for $500 to $600. But if you can't put it in yourself, that's a whole other situation. So that's the top secret fix for this thing. E53 has the same type fan, but a different setup. It's not as finicky. X3, E46, all those have a similar fan setup, a little bit different than the E39. So those are actually, the fuses are actually in the glove box itself and are pretty easy to get to. And it seems like those systems don't ever have an issue, or normally don't have an issue. So that's going to be it, guys. Hopefully this helps. Talk to you very soon. Have a good day.